Before I had cancer, I would describe my life as quite simple. I was a working mum. I was working as a doctor. I lived with my mum. Sorry, not mum. I lived with my husband and my daughter, and I was just a working mum who was quite into fitness and well-being, and I thought that I was very healthy, and I had, you know, a 5-year plan, and I had just an image of how my life was going to be, but that changed when I got diagnosed. It was very sudden. Literally one day I felt that my health was perfect, and then it was one evening when I was in the bath that I remembered that my breast had been a little bit sore, so I thought maybe I should have a feel. I did feel, and I noticed a lump, and my gut instinct at that time was that something was wrong. I actually broke into tears in the bath as I was examining myself, but because it was the weekend I dismissed it and tried to put it to the back of my mind because I knew I couldn't do anything about it then. But my gut instinct turned out to be right. So it was literally a sudden. 1 minute I thought I was fine, the next I wasn't.
So what did you do after?
So that evening I was supposed to be going out with my husband. My mum was fortunately looking after our daughter, so we went out as planned. But the following day, my sister, who's also a doctor, I got her to just have a look. I knew that I'd go and see my own doctor at some point, but I just thought, can you check it out? She did have a feel, and as she was feeling it, actually some blood started to come out from my nipple. And at that point, we both broke down in tears. Although we didn't know for sure, you know, it was clear that something wasn't right. So we just, you know, hoped that it was fine. And she actually encouraged me to go to the doctors the next day, which was Monday. I'd actually been planning to go, you know, in a week's time, or the next time I had time off work, thinking that I had to prioritise the care of my patients and not cancel my clinics. But she said, you know, you can't look after anyone else unless you're looking after yourself. So I did go to the doctors the next day, and they reassured me because of my age. They said it's probably nothing, you're only 30. It would be incredibly rare for anyone to have breast cancer at this age, but we'll send you to the hospital to get checked out anyway. So they did.
Okay. Can you take us to the moment when the doctor gave you the diagnosis?
Yeah. So I wasn't anticipating any news or any kind of diagnosis, or even to be given the all clear on the first hospital appointment. I knew that they would talk to me, examine me, do an ultrasound scan, and maybe a biopsy. But what they normally do is they take a sample of your tissue and send it to the lab and wait a couple of weeks for the results, and then they'll tell you, you know, it's fine or it's not fine. But in my case, as soon as he put the ultrasound probe onto my breast, he was very silent, and he quickly said, you know, this is very concerning. We need to do some samples, and he said he needed to do 3 tissue samples, which is a lot. So 2 in the breast and 1 in the armpit. So there was clearly something that he was seeing there that was worrying. So at this point my mum accompanied me to the appointment in the room, and I was laying on a couch, an examination couch, and they pierce your skin and take tissue samples, and I just remember lying on the couch crying, thinking this isn't happening, this isn't real. But anyway, he took the samples, and at the time he wanted to x-ray them because that would give a bit more information. He did that, and I was in there for a long time, about half an hour or maybe an hour even, but it felt like even longer. And at the end he sat me down and said, it's breast cancer. This is enough for us to go on. It's breast cancer. And I was crying and I was devastated. But you know, at that point, everyone reassured me it's breast cancer, but it's very treatable in this day and age. I think if you're an early stage breast cancer, you know, 90% or so, you can be cured and just get on with the rest of your life. And I think the assumption was because of my age and because most people, it's caught early. I was told, you know, you'll have treatment and it'll be hell for a year, but then you can move on with your life. Yeah.
Is that what you expected to hear? And like, what were your fears like when he told you that it's breast cancer?
When he told me, I said to him, so when will I be having surgery? I was just thinking, breast cancer, chop it out, get rid of it, and then, you know, get on with the rest of my life. I had no idea that actually in a few weeks' time I would find out that actually it had spread to the rest of my body. Because a few weeks down the line I found, so I had multiple scans, MRIs, PET scans, and I was told eventually, it was on Christmas Eve 2018, that the cancer is in my liver, my spine and my neck, as well as the 10 centimetre tumour in my breast. And the thing that broke my heart was being told that I'm palliative and that yes, they can treat me, but it's just to buy me some more time, and that they don't believe that stage 4 is curable. And that was just devastating because
what were your fears?
As a mother, your child or your children are your first concern. And if they're telling me it's palliative, who's going to be here to mother my daughter, to look after her, to care for her? And that was my immediate concern. And it still is the thing that's in the fore of my mind every day. And that's why I'm just so committed to looking after my health in a new way that I never even imagined possible. Yeah.
You've shared so much about like the holistic approach that you've sort of taken. What's informed or formed your approach?
The thing that has informed my approach, and the best thing that my oncologist ever did for me, was to tell me, we can't cure you. Stage 4 cancer is not curable. Because that freed me to explore other options. Prior to him telling me that, all of my faith was within the medical model. And being a medical doctor myself, I felt that the only help out there was external from the medical profession and the medical model, whether that's radiotherapy, chemotherapy or surgery. I thought that those were my only options. But when he said, we can't cure you, that gave me permission. I've got nothing to lose. Let me explore all of my options and truly find out, you know, what is going to work for me. And on leaving and then doing my own research, I realised that true health for me is not going to be obtained by expecting external sources, whether it's doctors or nurses or drugs, to cure me. Healing has to come from within. It has to be internal, and that is multifaceted. I can't just keep my health the same and take these pills and expect everything to be okay. I've got to attack the roots of this issue and build from the bottom up, mind, body, soul approach. And yeah, I'm so fortunate that to this point I have had a miraculous healing, and long may it continue.
Honestly, like you, it's clear that obviously you took the stage 4 is not a death sentence approach to your healing and, you know, completely turning your health around. But at night time, I wonder, you know, sometimes when you're laying in your bed and nobody's there, what goes through your mind sometimes?
Yeah, so when I was first diagnosed, I was terrified. I was living in fear. I literally thought that I was going to drop dead at any moment. I would lie in bed and I would think about what I'd been told. I had 5 tumours in my liver, my neck, my spine, my breast, and I would just imagine the cancer cells multiplying. And I was just because average survival is only, most people are dead by 3 years. And I would just think, you know, that's going to be me, and I would think about my daughter being without a mum. But I quickly learned that those thoughts, what you think becomes your reality. I truly believe that now. I didn't believe that before, but now I really do believe that. I believe in manifestation, and the body is listening to all of our thoughts that are ongoing. And health is not just exercise and nutrition, it's also internal health, your emotional, spiritual health, your state of mind. Your body hears and feels all of that. So fortunately, through just finding a new outlook on life and changing my thoughts, I've been able to keep those negative thoughts at bay, and instead I visualize now optimal health. I actually, when I'm lying in bed at night, visualize, you know, that there is no cancer in my body, that the tumours have melted away, and that I'm in good health. And I have ongoing scans, but to this point, the tumours in my liver, my spine and my neck did melt away through a combination of the treatment that I was fortunate to receive, but my own lifestyle choices I also believe have contributed, because I know many people who are on the same set of drugs that I am on, and then haven't all been so fortunate as to have had the tumours disappear like I have. And I'm not saying that I'm special, or that I'm doing something that's I don't want to portray that I don't know, that basically what I'm saying is I don't know all the factors that are involved, but I'm lucky and I know that, and yeah, I feel very blessed. For whatever reason, I'm doing incredibly well, considering the prognosis that I've been given.
So between the time that you were given the diagnosis to where you're at now, in terms of like transforming your health through medical treatment and your own therapies, what's been the space of time in that time?
So I was diagnosed in December 2018, and then in June 2018 I was told that the tumours in my liver, my spine and my neck were no longer detectable, which was amazing. So that's 6 months. But I did still have the breast tumour, and then that was removed in November. So now we are 12 months down the line. So within 12 months, seemingly, yeah, I've had multiple tumours up and down my body, and I'm now at the point where, yeah, there aren't any tumours that we know of. Obviously, I'm still ongoing with treatment, but yeah, that's where we are at the moment.
So just like over a year.
A year.
Over
Yeah.
a year. So you mentioned earlier that like when they told you it was breast cancer, you were like, chop it off. So now that it's actually happened, can you tell me about like your body image?
Yeah. So.
And how you feel in your body now that it's actually happened?
I'm really, really happy. I worried that I would be, that I would struggle with my body image, having just one breast, because of, you know, all the imagery that we have about what it is to be a woman. But for me, the fact that for me, what the scar represents, and the fact that I don't have a breast there, is actually, I view it as a positive way. And when your life is threatened, aesthetics and how you look really goes down the priority list. It's more about it just being here and being able to live and to function. And yeah, I'm just grateful for my health, and my appearance is no longer a concern in the way that it used to be. I'm just grateful to be alive, basically. Yeah.